Welcome to SAN Group's annual business meeting. I hope everybody's enjoyed their lunch. I hope you've had a very productive morning. I know everybody's busy. Appreciate you coming out here today for this meeting. And also appreciate the sponsors and the vendors for participating. I know we'll have a great event this afternoon. This event today, this is about your agencies today and tomorrow and the next day and next week and the next month. Everything that we bring to the table for the participating agencies is available to you here today. This is the one day that you can come out and work on your agency and see all that's available to you. What we're not going to do is get up and do a presentation of a lot of numbers today. We're actually not going to really get into any numbers. We presented you all with SAN Group's annual report for 2013. Please, if you get some time, take a look at it. Not while we're talking, please. 2013 was a heck of a year, and so we're very excited to be able to share the results that we saw. What we are going to talk about in the next couple of minutes is really what we see going on in the insurance industry, because I believe this is a fascinating time in the insurance industry. So both myself and our other two guest speakers are going to talk about really where we see things going and what we think agencies need to be doing based on our experiences moving forward. And so I'm going to start this presentation off with talking about SAN Group and SIAA striving to be the total solution for the independent agency. And so I think you see that with the benefits and services that you're seeing today. But I think you also need to understand that when we're putting our benefits and services together, we're also looking way out in the future on what independent agencies are going to look like in 1, 3, 5, 10, or even 15 years. Also, with the companies in the room, we do strive to be the proven distribution model, both here in the region and on a national basis as well. And so when we look at running agencies right now, we've used this Darwin quote over and over the years, but I think that it probably is more true now than ever. And we're going to try and make this point to you in a minute, that really as a business owner, we're going to have to change with the times and the technology right now, or face, obviously, extinction. So I always find it cliche that when people get up, and we used to do this too, right? The future of insurance, and the future of agency distribution, and the future insurance agency. And I will tell you guys, I think the future's now. So I think that a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about over the next couple of minutes talks about things that we are seeing every day in the industry around us. If we scrape some of the white noise aside, this is what's happening. And so let's talk about insurance. Right? This is kind of weird. It's an insurance meeting. So insurance is not a customer-centric product. We'd all agree with that, right? We have ISO forms, actuarial tables. We're governed by regulatory bodies like the Department of Insurance, and here in Massachusetts, the Attorney General. So it's not a customer-centric product. And so what is a customer-centric product? A customer-centric product is Amazon, UPS, LL Bean, Apple, right? There's one that we all understand. An extremely customer-centric product. Apple didn't design the iPhone for them, they designed it for us. And so the next question becomes is, how does insurance become customer-centric? Can insurance become customer-centric? And I'm going to challenge you all today by stating that actually I believe auto insurance is already becoming a customer-centric product. And we need to be thinking in our industry, how do we sell, how do we manage a customer-centric product? And how is auto insurance becoming customer-centric? It's simply brilliant. The consumer now thinks that they can go pick an insurance product off a shelf that is designed for them, priced for them, with the coverages specifically for them, drop it in a basket and scan it on the way out the door. So marketing and positioning can make the consumer think that something is customer-centric. If something becomes customer-centric, who can sell it? Right? We've all kind of avoided this tagline, this headline here, this article. But if auto becomes customer-centric, anybody can sell it. The iPhone is a customer-centric product. So when iPhones first came out, we bought them at AT&T, or we had to go stand in line at the Apple store. Now we can get them anywhere. I was driving to a Best Buy in Portsmouth, New Hampshire the other day to buy an Apple product. Halfway there, I saw that I was next to a Target. I got off the exit, I went into Target, I bought the Apple product, and I left. It's the same product, it is customer-centric. I, however, chose to purchase it in a place and a time that worked for me as the consumer, not the product. So we need to be thinking about that in insurance. And so we can go into the trade show or the reception this afternoon, and you guys can come up to me and argue with me till you're blue in the face that insurance is never going to be a customer-centric product, but at the end of the argument, and I'm talking specifically about auto insurance, at the end of the argument, understand that what us insurance professionals in this room think is completely irrelevant. The consumer is going to drive the future of our business. Okay? The consumer's perception is their reality. And so we go back to this McKinsey report that we talked about in the fall at the principals meetings. And the McKinsey report talked about how insurance may never be a pure commodity, but auto is edging closer to that territory. And let's talk about why it's edging closer to that territory. Consumers no longer need an agent to navigate companies or explain terms. You guys probably disagree with this statement. To a certain degree I do, but the consumer doesn't, so that's all that matters. We ourselves as independent agencies have piled on. We've added to the commoditization of automobile insurance by using comparative raters and commodity-like price quotes. And we've piled on with the flood of price-centric marketing. Save 15 minutes, save 15% in 15 minutes. And then the other interesting thing is we've also done a good job as an industry. Your companies in the room have done a good job. Customer claims satisfaction is at a historically high level. And I'll tell you, it's not just claims. It's customer interaction. It's bill payment. It's how we and how the companies interact on the auto insurance, which has removed differentiation of the automobile product. So it's not completely there yet, but go back to my Best Buy and my Target. It didn't matter where I went to buy it. I bought it where it was most convenient for me. And we need to be thinking about how are we going to be most convenient for the customer. What this has meant over the last decade, this was a 2013 report, is the independent agency channel has lost about 7% of our auto distribution. And so those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. I'm a big history fan. Some of you know this. I believe that if you study history, you can make correlations over to try and prevent from repeating other people's mistakes. So what we did is we looked outside of our industry. We went out and we looked at other industries where technology and changes in distribution have been affected. And there were 5 industries that I came up with. I Googled it, by the way. Google never lies, right? Is that the ad on TV? The last one that we landed on was the travel industry. So this is kind of unique. And the McKinsey report talked a little bit about the travel industry as well, but I decided we would go just a little bit deeper. Now, the first thing that happens when I start talking about the travel industry in front of a bunch of insurance agencies, you guys say, that's not us. It has no bearing on insurance. I'm going to tell you why it does in just a second. I believe that auto insurance is the airline ticket of the future. And I will make this point in the next couple of slides. With the advent of the internet, online travel agencies, and airline websites, travel agents' ticket bookings were cut in half over about a decade. What that also correlated to was a number of travel agencies going from 47,000 down to about 14,000. Okay? Some agencies were obviously not prepared for this change, this additional distribution. And so again, I hear from you folks, and I talked a little bit about this in the fall, that's not us. We sell insurance, not airline tickets. And so what I want to tell you is that was us. And so some of you may remember this. This is the Masiello group, where Sand Group was started. About circa 1993, we were about 4 cubicles in the back. SIAA was still 2 years away. And you'll see we have insurance, real estate, and it's a little blurry, travel. So we've lived through a change in distribution. And so, like us as insurance agents, we were valuable in the community, right? Airline tickets. It was all about getting people their tickets and their itineraries. We even had a delivery van. Some of you people from Keene and work at Peerless people, Liberty and Safeco, remember it. We had a van that drove around town. We delivered tickets to our customers and our businesses. We were important. They couldn't live without us. We even had a travel agent in Peerless's home office so they could send people downstairs to pick up their tickets, right? We went to a single source, Apollo. We actually had Sabre where we generated the tickets. You had to come to us to get your ticket, just like you have to go to an agent to get your auto insurance now. And so history is a vast early warning system. One of the things that the industry started to see was commission cuts. All you companies in the room, we don't want to see commission cuts. However, and I don't think it'll be as bad in this industry as it was in the travel industry, but we did start to see commission cuts, and ultimately we saw the elimination of airline commissions. And so when we look at our business in 2014, this is the Masiello group now. And we see insurance, and we see real estate, and we have mortgage and title. We picked up those. You guys know what's missing? We didn't survive the change in distribution. We didn't survive the internet there. And so if I haven't made my case about how we need to embrace and figure out how we're going to work within this new world, let's just look at auto versus airline tickets, auto policies versus airline tickets. 10 years ago, 95% of airline tickets sold through agencies. It was cut in half. The silver lining is it stayed flat for a couple years. So there's significant market share to have if we go through a similar change. A decade ago, 80% of auto policies were purchased through agencies. In 2004, 700,000 auto policies were purchased online. It's not that many. In 2010, 20 million quotes were generated online. And in 2011, 3.1 million auto policies were purchased online. So what does this mean to us? Then you have these crazy things, right? These are cool. Those of us that travel a lot, we don't even print boarding passes anymore. I was next to a guy in line the other day. He bought his whole ticket and downloaded his boarding pass right to his iPhone. Guess we didn't need the delivery van anymore, right? And so our industry is moving this way. We are moving this way. We are going to be working with both the companies and vendors to make sure we are prepared for this. But if you can service your insurance policy, if you can pay your bill, if you can show your ID card on your iPhone, how far are consumers from buying an auto policy over the device? And so is the glass half full or half empty? I believe this is a huge opportunity for an organization like this and for your independent agencies. So it is half full. Because travel agencies did succeed. Even though there was a large decline, they have not disappeared. The ones that are still around are larger and more successful. Survival of the fittest. The biggest change was the rise of the specialist, something we've been talking about for a long time. Might not be a specialist in different kinds of insurance, but in different industries. And I love this last line. The focus of the business has changed. We want to manage travel, not sell tickets. That's kind of a unique thought, right? We want to manage risk and exposure, not sell auto policies. That's what we need to be thinking about. And so travel agencies focused on three things. We can learn from the ones that survived. One was service. And with service, they developed expertise and guidance. The National Association of Travel Agents has a motto. Without a travel agent, you are on your own. Most of you can use that motto in your own hometown. Without an insurance agent, you're on your own. They developed personalization and personal touch. The internet and the iPhone's not going to bring that. You do as an independent agency. And they proved their value to the customer. The National Association also goes on to talk about the fact that the travel agencies that remain are viable businesses and will continue to succeed because the customers that do business with them know the value that they bring. Do your customers know the value that you're bringing, or are you completing a transaction? The internet. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this thing's probably going to be around for a little while. And so they embraced the internet. They used it for making their business better. And then finally, change. And this is something we talk about all the time, how we have to change. And they improved their business. Like we offer services and benefits to help you improve your business. They became experts. Not an expert in insurance, an expert in what your customer needs in their industry or their personal needs. And they implemented new services like we've been trying to do with you folks, life insurance. We're going to be rolling out a national program for you folks where you can start offering individual benefits to your customers, whether you're licensed or not. We're investing heavily in getting a lot of you folks into commercial lines as well. And so when we look at the travel agent of today, who cares at this point, let's look at what this looks like for the insurance agent of tomorrow, the independent agent. It's 85% of small commercial business. It's 70% of homeowners and umbrella. Might only be 50% of auto, but if we get it, that's our market share because we can. 30% of term life, 20% of individual benefits. That's what we could look like in the future if we adjust and we change. So travel agents faced a very similar issue to what we have faced, or we are and will be facing in this industry. They reinvented their business models. They shifted towards more complex services and specialization. We all have the ability to do this. And they focused on operational efficiency and technology.